Let's be honest, seeing clearly on the bike could actually be a matter of life or death. So I want to talk to you about picking the right pair of windproof eyewear. Hello and welcome on Eyeglass Tyler. Today I'm going to be talking to you about everything you need to know about how to pick windproof motorcycle eyewear. I'm going to go over why you'd want these type of glasses. Seems pretty obvious, especially with that pretty extreme lead in the beginning of this video, but we'll get into it. How it can help you on the bike, plus top 5 things to consider when comparing styles. And we'll even throw in a couple of frame recommendations. If at the end of this you were ready to order, don't forget about SportRx and definitely don't forget about our See Better guarantee, because that allows you to order from us risk-free. All right, let's get into this. First off, why should you get windproof motorcycle sunglasses? Obviously, to block wind. That's pretty straightforward, but it's more important than just that. We have to think about the effects of wind on your vision. Wind at high velocities creates dry eyes. It also creates irritated eyes. Depending on the length of the ride, this can turn into frequent blinking, blurred vision, obviously irritation, and vision is the number one thing keeping you safe. So dry, blurry vision is a no-go, obviously. It also protects the integrity of your vision from long-term effects like chronic dry eye. So it's not just about your ride right then, it is also about future rides, so something to keep in mind. Okay, so how is this going to help you on the bike? Well, overall, obviously more comfortable and clear vision. That means a safer ride. They also block against other hazards like dust, dirt, debris, and other natural elements. All right, well, let's talk now about the top 5 things to consider when comparing windproof motorcycle glasses and goggles. First off, foam gaskets. This is the best way to protect your eyes from wind and elements. Obviously, this is something that we point to and we recommend strongly when recommending our top picks for motorcycle glasses. It's going to create more of a full seal between your eyewear and your face. Most often, they're also removable, which gives you versatility. It means that the frame is one that you can wear on the bike and off the bike, which typically off the bike, you probably aren't going to want there to be foam, and so it being removable is really nice, but also replaceable, because that is the thing that makes contact with your face for the longest amount of time. You might get sweaty, you might get it oily, it will break down first and foremost, so replaceable is really nice, because then you don't have to replace the entire frame, you just replace the foam, which is all the foam options that we offer that are removable are also very easily replaceable. There are 2 types of foam that you want to look for. Well, actually, that are available. I don't know if there is even a third option. We have closed cell and we have open cell. So a closed cell foam is going to be more dense. It's going to be more of an impenetrable. Essentially, there's a coating over the foam itself that makes it so that it doesn't get your sweat and your oil into the foam itself. It's more sweat resistant, a little more durable. In my experience, it means that it breathes a little bit less. So I find that it makes my face a little bit sweatier when I'm wearing it, but it does mean that the foam doesn't break down quite as quickly. An open cell foam is going to be a little more flexible, probably a little more comfortable, especially as long as that outermost layer of the foam is more of a moisture wicking fleece. Nice and comfortable, but it is a little bit less resistant to sweat and moisture, because that is going to be able to just absorb straight into the foam. You may need to replace it more often. In my experience, again, I find that to be the preferable way to go, because it's so easily replaceable anyway. I'd rather it be a little more comfortable and a little more breathable. But for some that ride a lot and sweat a lot and have really oily skin, it might be something nice so you don't have to constantly swap out your foam. The other thing that is going to help with blocking wind is going to be a more wrapped frame, a more frame curvature. We refer to these as 8 base or more. That number is actually a unit of measurement that we use to measure curvature in a frame. So a 6 base is going to be a little flatter, 4 base flatter still, and usually the 2 and 4 base are most likely for kind of fashion forward frames and eyeglasses. So an 8 base wrap is going to wrap around your face a little more, kind of follows the curvature of the typical face, I would say, and it goes hand in hand with foam gaskets. The foam eye cup needs to contour to your face, so a wraparound frame is going to be the best shape for that complete seal. It also gives a wider field of vision, of course, more unobstructed peripherals, which is going to be better for tracking other vehicles around you. Another thing to consider is proper fit. This is super important for your eyewear to work properly. If it's too big, there are going to be gaps between the eyewear and your face, so wind can sneak in behind the lenses. If it's too small, of course, it's going to be squeezing your temples. That can create headaches, discomfort. The correct fit will give you a comfortable seal that makes contact for the entirety of the eye cup. The SFW is going to shine here. The SFW, if you're unfamiliar, is our frame measurement approach. We call it our SportRx frame width because when you look at most eyewear, you'll see measurements on there, but that's not actually to give you an accurate idea of how they're going to fit your face. It's just giving you an idea of the measurements of the frame itself, and they aren't always perfectly transferable when it comes to understanding how they're going to fit your face. So we came up with the SFW to give you a practical understanding or expectation of how a frame is going to fit. If you're not sure how something is going to fit and you're concerned with it and you can't try them on, check out that SFW because it really gives you a good concept of how you can expect them to fit. We'll put a link in the description below for a little more info on the SFW if you're interested in that. Also, something to consider is helmet compatibility. The majority of states in this country necessitate wearing a helmet while you ride. I think it's smart, even if you live in a state that doesn't require it, to wear it because you're keeping yourself safe. And there are windproof glasses out there that are not motorcycle riding specific. So it's important to keep helmet compatibility in mind. Helmet compatible glasses are going to use a thinner, lower profile temple to fit seamlessly under a helmet to not create unnecessary pressure points and to fit comfortably under the helmet. 7eye is really good at this, so all of their styles are actually helmet compatible. Stay away from really thick temples that could create uncomfortable pressure points under your helmet. That's the takeaway. Now, finally, glasses versus goggles. Which should you go with? It really depends on a little bit on your riding style, but mostly on personal preference. On the tail end of helmet compatibility, I will say that it can be a little bit trickier going with the goggle style. And by goggle style, by the way, I mean a full strap, as opposed to having temples that go behind your ear. It's a full strap that goes around your head. Definitely a lot more secure. There can be a stylistic thing, which, they look more like goggles, and that can be, a draw for some riders. When it comes to putting a helmet on, it can be a bit trickier because with a goggle style, you have to put the helmet on after you put on the goggles. With the glasses style or the temple style, typically you're going to put them on after you put your helmet on. You just jam them in between the helmet and your head and they stay in place that way. I think that's probably the more popular option, but there are definitely a lot out there that have leashes that'll allow you to get a little extra frame security when you need it. So those options are definitely something to keep an eye on if that's something that you want. There are even some options that are a temple version, and because of the location of where the strap connects, it gives you a little more of a goggle type fit and feel, and so you kind of have best of both worlds there. Hey, if you're enjoying this content, but maybe you have additional questions about motorcycle eyewear or you have prescription needs, well, reach out to one of our very friendly SportRx opticians because they are eagerly awaiting your call. For even more lists of best motorcycle eyewear, we have videos, we have blogs, we'll put links in the description below. Now, when it comes to frame recommendations, we're looking at 7eye today. 7eye does a really, really good job of making fantastic motorcycle eyewear. That's kind of one of their main focuses, and dry eye as well. They have some frames that are specific for dry eye, so we're kind of covering all of our bases here. This is the Chirata, also a past Rexy's nominee for best motorcycle sunglasses. Check out the Rexy's if you're unfamiliar with that. It's a lot of fun. Also ANSI, which is really cool. ANSI Z87.1 with a detachable leash. That ANSI means that it is actually safety rated. It is rated for impact resistance, but exceptional impact resistance, not typical impact resistance. So it actually meets or exceeds those standards set by ANSI, or the American National Standards Institute for Safety Eyewear, which is cool. If you're looking for the safest thing possible, This is great. Very sleek and slim design, works with a variety of face shapes and helmets. Pretty simple, relatively rectangular shape here. Their Air Shield eye cup technology is that closed cell foam, so super durable, keeps your eyes hydrated for comfortable vision. I think one of the other things that I probably didn't mention, or maybe it could be inferred from when I was explaining the difference between closed cell and open cell, is that a closed cell foam, not breathing quite as much, will give you a tighter seal. So if you're looking for the tightest seal possible, closed cell is great. And 7-Eye almost only across the board works with closed cell foam. So you're safe no matter what 7-Eyes you get. I'm pretty sure, 100%. Maybe I'm off by 1 or 2 frames, but I'm pretty sure. Venting there, obviously, if you're worried about that really tight seal and then fogging, they are also designed with some venting in here to minimize fogging, give you a little bit more of that breathability. Also, very, very important to us, RXable, extremely RXable. We can put your prescription in here because it's an eye size, it's a little bit smaller, even though it is still a full wrap design, we can handle a pretty wide range of prescriptions in this guy. When it comes to sizing, this has an SFW of 129 millimeters. That's that SFW I was talking about earlier, which lands you in that kind of men's small or women's medium range. Another frame worth your consideration is the cape. It's another 7-Eye. You get all of that same wind blocking tech as in the Tirada, 8-base wrap, Air Shield eye cup, but it also has a unique frame feature, which is this temple design. We talked about the goggle style. We talked about the temple design, or the temple style rather. This is really unique. This actually has more of that wrap behind the ear. If you are an eyeglass wearer, you know what that's all about. You want to keep them on your face, you wrap it behind the ear. Typically, motorcycle sunglasses will have a straight back design or a slight bend like in the Tirada, but they don't have that full wrap behind the ear because you don't know where it's going to hit the ear. You don't know where it's going to be appropriate, and typically they use frame materials like this that aren't really adjustable. Double-edged sword there. Not adjustable means that you can't adjust it. However, it means that it also won't go out of shape on you. What's nice about this is that you have adjustable temples in the length. So this temple wraps behind your ear, but you can adjust the length to give you the appropriate fit around your ear. So you don't have to worry about that. So really, really secure. Good design that works really well for a lot of people. This is also ANSI rated, which is awesome. If you're looking for safe, you are in good shape here. Very RXable, and actually this comes with an RX adapter option. If you have an exceptionally strong prescription, we still got you covered. This can take a surprisingly strong range of prescriptions thanks to that adapter option. And when it comes to sizing, this has an SFW of 133 millimeters, which lands you in that men's medium range or women's medium to large. That wraps it up for what you need to look for in windproof motorcycle glasses. Hopefully you're a little more enlightened. Ideally, you have a new front runner for the best pair for you. If so, stick around for a moment longer. We will have an easy to click shop now button. And also, if you're ready to order, don't forget about that See Better guarantee. I really think it gives you a ton of peace of mind. And if peace of mind is your thing, us opticians, we here are like offering peak peace of mind, because our whole reason for being here is to help you get it right the first time. So let us help you. Reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this is interesting or valuable information. If so, throw us a like, because that helps us out. You can find relevant videos over here. If you're ready to shop these great styles, click this button right here. Why not? If you're looking for more content to consume like we all are these days, check us out on our social media outlets, because I think you'll like it. You'll find us on our handle at SportRx.